My name is Whittenberger. I am a recent graduate of the class of 2022. I work for the Union of Philadelphia Futures and Stepping Stone Scholars. We're merging, so we don't have a definitive new name yet, so that's what we're calling ourselves. And my job title is Admissions and Advancement Coordinator. So I'm an AmeriCorps Vista service member with Philadelphia Futures and Stepping Stone Scholars. And I originally said yes to an academic support coordinator position, but the department that I said yes to does not exist anymore under the current merger. So my new role is called Admissions and Advancement Coordinator. And I work under 3 umbrellas. I work with the admissions department, and I do a lot of college exposure work, like making flyers and updating data in Salesforce to reflect student attendance at their events. I also work under data, and I support the data migration from one software to another because we're merging. So we're merging everything into Salesforce. And then I also work with advancement, and I am currently doing grant research and grant writing. And this is the most exciting role to me because it's what I want to do in the future. And yeah, it's cool to see what the different applications ask for. I work with grants so far between $25,000 and $1 million or more, just supporting the advancement team and whatever they need. My entry path, obviously, I went to St. Joseph's University, and I really think my most important role was being an RA. Like, being an RA gave me the broad skills I need for any role, any job, and I can apply it to anywhere that I want to go. And I also was a writing tutor, and I was also in athletics. In the athletics department, I played soccer my freshman year, and then I transitioned into being the Hawk mascot. And with all of those, I was, really student focused in the present, and thinking about my future. I had to think about jobs and things, but I also knew I've been doing a lot since I was young, ever since, I was in kindergarten. So I wanted to kind of take a year off for myself, kind of as a gap year. And I was thinking about a year of service. So I went to service fairs and I was asking a lot of questions. And I decided to do a year of service with Philly Futures, which, is now the merged organization. And after I accepted that role, I also accepted a summer Vista role with Kensington Soccer Club before my year of service started. And that's where I really got into development and advancement work and learning about fundraising. And now I'm here. There's a lot of skills that you need for this job, but I think the most important for me are project management, problem solving, and having passion. So first, starting off with project management. I wear a lot of hats with admissions, data, and advancement. It's a lot to, keep organized. And I learned how to do that very well at St. Joe's, because not only was it time management, but it was life management. Traveling as the Hawk, being an RA, being a head RA, being a writing center tutor, you just got to manage your time very well, but still find the time to rest. And that's what I'm doing with my year of service, finding the time to rest. But within my role, just knowing what to prioritize, especially with deadlines, and also being able to predict how long each project will take on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. Also, I'm very big on problem solving. In a nonprofit, there most of the time is not going to be a lot of, I want to say human. Okay, wait, I'm going to redo that. You can keep the project management part. With problem solving, I think working in a nonprofit, you really have to learn to problem solve for yourself, because everybody is strained for time. Like, this is real love work, and the love work comes with, you know, being stretched for time and being drained sometimes. So I don't always want to ask others for support unless I really need it. So I do whatever I can to figure it out for myself first. And the last one is having passion. I have found a lot of passion for the work that I do because of my time at St. Joe's. I'm a first-generation college student, and the students that we support at PFSS are low-income students and first-generation college students that are looking to earn their degree. And in earning my degree, I know that my life outcomes are going to be a lot easier to achieve and a lot easier to obtain and maintain. And I want the same for our students. So if you don't have passion for what you do, it's just going to make your job and your career a lot harder. So passion is at the center of everything that I do. And I think even though it's not a formal skill, I'd say, it's definitely a value that I want to put into everything I do in my life. Personally, like I said before, being an RA was centerfold, the most important thing that I did in order to get myself ready for life after college. It taught me, you know, how to work well with others, how to be there for others, and how to, you know, maximize what I can do within a role. Because I think maximizing your responsibilities will give you better outcomes. And the flip side of that is you don't want to be mundane at what you do, because when you're mundane at what you do, you can't market yourself to the careers and the jobs that you're looking out for. So I did whatever I could in that role to be there for my residents and for my RA staff, and to put on programming that everybody would enjoy, and I know that I could showcase in the future for employers. Some other things that you could do: I was on Senate. I was also on the executive board for Asian Student Association. So getting involved in affinity groups and things that are important to you, such as, you know, other ones like Black Student Union or Pride, and some things that I was not into, but I know that others are sororities and fraternities, especially within this role of advancement and fundraising. I know that there are leadership roles within sororities and fraternities that you can learn how to fundraise very well. And same goes for clubs that fundraise for nonprofits, for example, like Project Sunshine. My personal networking tips that I use all the time is to research the fields that you're interested in, and to send emails to those in those teams and those departments, those organizations, and just see if you could set up an informational interview, which is something that I learned to do under the Career Development Center at St. Joe's. So that's what I've been doing recently, because I know after my year of service, I'm gonna have to look for a very salary job instead of just a stipend. So I want to be sure that I can make the process as swift as possible. And, you know, sending those informational interview emails, you can just say, hey, like, I'm really interested in learning more about this role. Would you like to meet up and we can chat about it? I have so many questions to ask. Just showing that you are interested and curious in their role, they'll usually say yes, and you'll be able to talk to them. Because of the path that I've chosen, a year of service, it's not as competitive for specific roles compared to other careers and jobs. So I haven't faced any barriers yet. Diversity and inclusion means to me that I can be comfortable and feel comfortable coming into any space and knowing that I'm valued and that my work is valued. And then the flip side is I want to be sure that when other people are in my presence, I can make them feel comfortable. Because DEI isn't just about, you know, workplace things, because workplace is very much money driven. in some aspects, especially when it comes to, just making money. But when people have human decency for each other, that's what's most important. DEI shouldn't come down to money. It should come down to caring for others and caring for the whole person. I definitely think that DEI initiatives have influenced me. I wouldn't be in the work that I'm in if it weren't for me caring about DEI and the things that I learned in my sociology courses. And the change that we bring in the workplace. I mean, our staff right now is very diverse, I would say, up and down the hierarchy. And the people that we support, our stakeholders, our constituents, at the end of the day, are students who are low income and first generation, and they're usually Black and brown students. So if we don't care about DEI, we are not going to be a successful organization, and the work that we do is going to be self-centered. We want to be as selfless as possible when we are supporting our students. So some resources that have been helpful for me are watching TED Talks on fundraising and advancement. I've learned so much about just how to fundraise and the best practices for fundraising by watching TED Talks and other videos on YouTube as well. And LinkedIn is a wonderful source. I am in groups about advancement and fundraising on there, and the articles that people post in there, I'll read them and learn from them as well. It's funny because this is like the hardest question for me to answer, because I feel like my path so far has been to plan, and my path hasn't been too difficult. But thinking back, like my freshman year, I was injured out of soccer. I had too many concussions at that point, and me and my doctor knew that it was time to step away. And at that point I'm thinking, like, what am I gonna do now? But with everything, you always have to remember that everything is gonna be okay, no matter what.